All right, everyone, welcome to our first podcast, attempt number 1. I'm Alex.
And I'm Alex, and this is definitely not
podcast.
attempt number 1. What are you talking about?
Okay, and this is our podcast,
Joel.
All right, we'll just edit that part out where you said it's not our first attempt.
It definitely wasn't our first attempt.
All right, this is our
second
second attempt.
This is like our third attempt or fourth attempt? I don't know.
All right, anyway, today we're going to be interviewing our friend Joel Copey.
That's name redacted.
No, we're going to edit that in post.
Oh, okay. All right, so...
Wink, wink. Yeah, we're recording our podcast.
Yeah,
This is
So,
take 3, okay?
we're gonna... At least 4, I think.
Wait a minute.
We're gonna need you guys to be our laugh track, all right? No, wait, not yet.
No, now we can just snip that and put it wherever we need.
That was a really good laugh. That was our friend Joel, by the way, doing that laugh for us.
Joel Copey of Edgewater Automation.
He does application engineering.
This is our friend Joel Copey laughing.
All right, I'm really glad this is gonna make the final cut. This is some quality content right here.
right,
So
anyway.
right now we're
So
down
we're
in
gonna
the
interview-
we're in the bowling alley in the Purdue Union.
Location redacted.
Location redacted. And Joel is here and he's gonna answer a couple questions for us. So first off,
Hello, Joel. How are you doing?
fine.
Fine.
All right, he's fine.
That's good.
Next
guess.
question.
Joel, what is your job?
I'm not gonna tell you that.
Why not? I already know.
Yeah, but this is gonna be on a podcast. I'm not
No,
gonna tell
well,
you.
we're gonna redact this in the final cut.
I don't. Well, then I don't need to say it.
I mean, we could really just like cover over this entire part.
No. I was just saying that to get him to say his job. We're not really gonna redact that.
Oh.
Is that going to
Wow, that's a really interesting job. It's a shame we might have to redact all
Hey,
of
Joel,
that
you want
in
to explain?
post-production.
You want to explain a little bit about what that job is?
I was like considering
No.
to go to the early service.
All right. Okay, let's pretend it's like 10 minutes later. What a long and interesting explanation.
That's really incredible how you can speak for so long about such an interesting topic.
In 20 years, we should release like an uncut version of this podcast.
I saw Gail.
People can hear what's really going on.
Yep.
They said that we need to
I feel like we're gonna need to sprinkle some more laugh tracks throughout this, just
Or
so
just like the whole thing's just laugh track after everything we say.
in the background.
Hey,
there's
this is
just
our
some
friend
laugh.
Joel. Laugh track.
model.
All right, so we probably need someone better to interview because I don't think Joel's going to answer any questions.
Yeah, let's move on from our first segment about Joel and move on to our second segment about
Joel.
what happened when you were in Pappy's.
Gotcha.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Well, Alex. We went in and there was a line.
Yes.
So we were waiting in the line. And while we were waiting in the line, Joel and Jasmine wanted to find out what flavors of milkshakes there were.
That's pretty reasonable.
So-
I'm always confused when I go to Pappy's as to what their milkshake flavors are.
So I always just get vanilla and chocolate, or chocolate. So I didn't really think about it, but they wanted to know. So Joel asked me. He asked me what flavors they were, and I pointed out the sign at the end where they make the milkshakes that said all the flavors on it.
Have you seen the sign that's next to the register at the beginning
Yeah,
of the
so where
line
I'm
that
actually
also
getting to
has-
that because
Oh,
Jasmine then stepped out of line to be able to see that sign.
right.
And actually, initially, they thought that there were more flavors on that sign than there were on the other sign, but it turned out it was just like things you could add to it, like fudge and stuff. So
Yeah, I didn't realize that you could add things to it. It was a pretty nice surprise when Jasmine gave me the rest of her milkshake and it just had hot fudge in
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Or like cold fudge, I guess.
I believe you high-fived her
In
at
a
that time.
milkshake?
Is that correct?
I don't actually remember, even though it was probably about
I
5
actually
minutes
know
ago.
you high-fived her. So just
Okay,
take my word
well,
for it.
that sounds correct, Alex.
All right. Anyway, thanks, Alex. Okay.
Insert laugh track.
See, it only makes sense as a laugh track if people know what our actual names are. Otherwise, they're just like, why are they laughing?
We probably should have named the podcast Nathan and Alex.
Yeah, then it would be more funny.
Or Alex and Nathan.
Yeah.
Maybe we should debate a little bit which of those sounds better.
Well, Nathan and Alex sounds more natural, but Alex and Nathan is. Wait, what's the psychology behind me thinking that putting your name first sounds more natural?
That's really interesting. Maybe we should do some research about that so that we don't just wildly speculate for our audience.
Laugh track.
So I'm pretty sure it's just because, you know,
SAE.
Tried to come up with a fake reason, you failed.
yeah, that was pretty.
We would definitely edit that out.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. We'll just.
Anyway,
I'm just gonna say some words, and then we can like stick them together in a way that's meaningful in post production.
we can do like this
That way I
thing,
can make,
like
like,
we
a
can do like they do
coherent
in
argument.
movies where they like have like a small amount of like recording of somebody talking, and then
Yeah.
they just like put it together to make it sound like the person said something completely different, and then like leave that as a message on someone else's answering machine.
Oh, I thought you meant like something they do when they're producing movies, like with the actors. They just have them say some things.
Oh, no.
And then put it all together. That would be a really
Like I'm talking about like in the plot of movies.
right when you're only listening to the audio, like you are on this podcast. So
Anyway, what were we talking about?
we were talking
Oh, I
about
was-
Nathan and Alex versus Alex and Nathan.
Right, but I think we decided to come back to that. We can have David on the show as a psychologist.
Oh, that would
expert.
be he would be a good witness, not witness.
Just like
So
an expert
far, this has
opinion.
been like the worst podcast
Well, we're gonna edit
possible.
it.
All right, Joel,
This
tell
is-
us how you really feel though about this podcast.
Well, at least we got Joel to say something.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Maybe we should just
Dude, that
continue.
was the whole point of this whole thing. Was to have such a bad podcast that Joel would comment on. All right, seriously, like half these lanes are empty.
So I thought it was Nathan and Alex because Nathan has 2 syllables, but then as I was saying it, I realized
both
that
have 2
Alex
syllables.
also had 2 syllables.
And in fact, 4 out of the 5 of the people in our friend group have 2 syllables in their first name and 2 syllables in their last name. If you count Joel as 2 syllables.
Why would you count Joel as 2
Joel.
syllables? Why would you do that? That's just wrong.
That was a fast one.
Fair. We're just too good. Actually, no. He's the one that's exception. Because there's Nathan Gladsbach, Alex Madoff, Jasmine Patchen, and Katie Bone, which are all 2
Yes.
syllables in each name.
Way to just say all of their names in a podcast.
They'll all be redacted at the end. Replace
We
with,
have name redacted, name redacted, name redacted, and name redacted.
unfortunately, name redacted doesn't have 2 syllables in both words.
I mean, I don't think they would care if we put their names in a podcast.
They
No.
should care.
And so Shelby can join the group because she is
Shelby
Age.
Claflin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Berenson, you're out.
Andrew Berenson. He can give his extra syllable to Joel.
She's my fucking real name.
No, we're gonna redact it.
Why don't you just take his last name and turn it into 2 syllables so it's not as
Andrew
actual?
Berenson.
Berenson. Andrew Berenson.
You said add 2 syllables, right?
Berendenson.
Berenson.
Is it something to do with the X?
What?
The X in Alex.
No, I actually. Wait. So does it? So are you saying that it also sounds more natural to you to say Nathan and Alex?
I think so.
Again, compared to Alex and Nathan.
Yeah, Alex and Nathan doesn't sound right.
I mean, I feel like.
It's a phonetic thing. I also agree that Nathan and Alex sounds more natural.
I think we should.
I think it might be like more of like a psychological thing. Like early on in our friendship, like maybe you were busier or something. So like I was always more interested in hanging out with you than the other way around.
Yeah.
So then I don't know. Maybe that's Anyway, we can ask our psychology expert next week on Alex and Nathan's podcast.
That definitely just sounds bad. It's Nathan and Alex.
All right, Nathan and Alex podcast.
All right.
Alex and Nathan is alphabetical.
Yeah, that's what I was
so
gonna
it's
say
more
earlier.
fair as to whose name goes first.
Like John Lennon and Paul McCartney, they're in their music that they wrote, their names were always listed in alphabetical order for fairness.
Yeah.
And there was one song that I think Paul McCartney like spent like way more time with, like basically it was his song.
Right.
And he asked if he could be first on it, and Lennon was just like, no.
Wow. That's a really mean move. If we wrote a song together, and we have coming soon to next week's podcast. Are we just gonna do this once a week?
Well, we should probably start out like less frequent and just see like what the response is from the first one.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be like really bad.
I mean,
Nobody's gonna find this.
Are we even gonna put it anywhere?
Probably.
You have to have the honor.
Like where?
It'd be really easy to
Oh, you
just.
know what? David has a blog. I bet we could get him to put it on his blog.
I believe you
If-
can just publish it on SoundCloud.
I think we can do that.
That's
There's
like the YouTube for podcasts.
There's so many places we could put this just for free, just to
you
see
could
what
make
happens.
one of
But
those
I
like
feel like if
mirror
we
versions of like Infinity War
yeah
that take the audio out and put,
and
this,
put
in the
this in the
background.
background. Oh, everyone would be so mad.
Hey, look at Thanos doing that thing.
We could narrate movies for our podcast.
That would be really boring. Yeah,
Yes.
Is
We're just gonna take the good parts.
Like this is just gonna be like We're just
coming in.
We've only I know.
we're just recording
Large
like
2 toppings for $5.99 each.
Yeah, I know.
This
I
crazy
got that a couple
It's
days
better
ago.
to-
crazy deal on Sunday. I
better
just
to-
got it today. I don't know why they didn't tell me about it sooner.
use
'cause I
promo code
definitely
Alex and Nathan for 10% off.
would. Or Nathan and Alex, because that's a better promo code.
Yeah, but we already sent them the promo code before we said it out loud.
We definitely did not.
10% off.
Domino's.
They're not sponsoring us. We're just trying to get them to.
All right.
By the way, that is not an original joke. No credit to me.
Die.
I think we should move on to our next guest.
Wait, weren't we still talking about what happened in Pappy's? It was like the first 5 minutes that I narrated so far.
Oh yeah, you should
Yeah,
probably
but
get
you
back to
spend
that.
like 6 minutes narrating the first 5 minutes of what happened at Patty's.
Well,
I
I
mean,
think
most of that 6 minutes was us talking about other stuff.
right.
Anyway,
Mostly the fact that Nathan and Alex definitely sounds
so
better.
after Joel and Jasmine decided what flavors they wanted, we got back into the line
Okay.
and basically just waited there. I was like looking at my phone. I was actually looking at this Reddit post, which was about. Wait, I was telling you about that at the table, right? With Mike Trout.
Yes, you
Yeah,
told
so
us
I was,
about
I was
that.
reading that. I was reading that. For all you listeners out there, it's a Reddit post about how Mike Trout would have been worth as many wins to his team as he was as a baseball player if he were a weatherman with perfect prediction skills.
What about any?
So basically, their argument was that by statistics, he was worth 10 wins for the Angels. However, they were able to find 10 games where the Angels would have been winning after 5 innings without him, and then he could have predicted like a thunderstorm, which would have canceled the game, and the Angels would have won. So
There was only 10 games where they were winning. Well, I guess without
they were
him.
winning after 5 innings without him.
Without him, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, I mean he's like the best player in the game.
was
and
probably-
they're a bad team, so
Right.
probably counts for most of their wins in reality.
One more.
Yeah.
Anyway,
80 wins does sound like a lot of wins.
Yeah, I mean it's still under 500 is the thing.
Oh,
There's 162 games in a season,
wow, yeah, that's pretty bad.
so they were 80 and 82.
You can't tie in baseball. That's what extra innings are.
Correct.
Right.
So anyway, I was reading that post. Then we finally got to the front of the line, and Jasmine and Joel ordered. And so then I came up to order, and there was a problem with my card. Like I ordered. First of all, actually, I mumbled the order. So I was like, "I'll have a chocolate milkshake, please." And then she like didn't hear me at all. She was just like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll have I said it much more clearly. I felt kind of bad. Like I probably just kind of didn't say it more clearly. But she was like, "I also can't hear." Just like, so be socially like, haha, also my fault, whatever. Anyway, this is just stream of consciousness right here.
I mean, that's what podcasting is all about. I
Yeah.
don't think there's any sort of filtering that goes on between what people say and what actually comes out in the actual podcast.
So yeah, then I put my card in the reader, and it was like, there's a problem with your card. Take it out. And so I took it out, and then it said, please swipe. But I didn't really see that at first, so I just stuck it back in the chip reader, and it's like, there's a problem with your card. Please take it out, and I didn't. Then I was like, oh, it says swipe. So then I swiped, and the transaction went through like fine. So then we sat down at the counter. There was this pill bag. It said pill bag on it. It's like a bag about like yay big for all you listeners at home.
Like a bag of pills?
Like a plastic baggie. There's nothing in it though.
Oh.
It just said pill bag on it.
I gotcha.
And it
About
had
the
and
size
it-
of, like, if you know in the movies what the cocaine comes in. Basically,
yeah, it's like about that
Done.
size.
Done.
So, and it had the letters AM on it, which are my initials. So I just kind of looked at that for a while. Just thought about what AM could possibly mean, possibly morning, but there was an like AM like morning check box on the bag that wasn't checked. They just wrote AM on it, so I don't know. Anyway, Meanwhile, Jasmine was looking at the jukebox, like the mini jukeboxes they
Right.
have at the counters.
Yep.
And the one that she was looking at actually still had like a spot where you could put in money to like play the music. So she put in 5 cents, but then the machine didn't work, so she just lost 5 cents.
That's a
She-
bummer.
she was
Did
trying
it
to-
only cost 5 cents?
Yeah, it just said 5 cents.
Huh.
But I'm guessing that's just like for an old-timey feel. Like if they had an actual jukebox, it wouldn't cost 5 cents. Anyway, she was trying to play the song "Ain't No Mountain High Enough." It was between that and Ignition.
Like Edge.
So, yeah. So then, after we sat there for a little while, we then got our ice cream, and Jasmine ate the cherry and started trying to tie a knot in her mouth with a stem.
Right.
And then I was the last one to get my ice cream, so I got my ice cream, and then we all just left and went back out to the table where you guys were. So the rest is history after that.
Yeah, we've been podcasting ever since.
Oh yeah, the podcasters don't know, but you know,
Yes,
and that's all that matters.
exactly. That sounds like a... What? For those of you who can't see this, I have no idea how to describe it.
It's basically like an anime music video. That's a pretty accurate description of it.
Yeah, no, that was a very simple set of words you used to describe that. Probably should have been able to come up with that.
Stupid if you couldn't come up with that.
Well, I also can't really see very well.
Oh yeah, he's blind,
Yes, I
like me.
literally have no eyes. I was born without eyes, which is why podcasting is the perfect medium, because I can only use my voice.
Well, also he looks horrific in real life.
Right,
With
it's-
all the scars.
Extremely disgusting. You wouldn't want to see me.
I'm only able to look at him because I'm colorblind.
Right. And really, the only problem with my face is that it's the wrong colors. And so, when I
So I can't
attempted
tell.
to paint eyes onto my sunken eyelids, I used the wrong colors, and it's just terrible.
Yeah, but it looks like real eyes to me. So,
Right, you can't even tell.
Yeah, so
I've become very talented at moving my eyelids back and forth to even simulate the eye motion.
and you might be wondering, how do you move your eyelids back and forth? And well, keep wondering because no one knows.
It's very difficult to achieve unless you're me.
Anyway, the way Joel is able to be here without being like too disgusted is that how are you able to be here without like running away in terror?
I'm not gonna say.
He's not gonna say. Maybe someone's paying him.
He's probably being paid.
Yeah.
It would take money to get me here.
Yeah. Speaking of which, our sponsor today is
We're sponsored by Squarespace. They stole my vision.
Joel's laughing just for the record. No. Let the record show that Joel laughed at that.
I'd like to strike that from the record.
Duly noted.
That
The
will
record
be.
show that Joel wants to strike that from the record. So it must be true.
What's he striking from the record?
The fact that he laughed at that terrible joke. All right.
We're also sponsored by Audible. I have narrated several audiobooks by having people read them to me as I read them to you, so it's very cluttered and confusing.
It's really just like it's like the book said like 5 seconds apart from, like 2 copies of the book said 5 seconds apart from each other.
Right.
Like
I
different
have-
people.
I have gained some very negative reviews on Audible. I assume you can leave reviews on Audible. I don't really know anything about Audible because
And
they're
also,
not actually
by the
sponsoring
way,
us.
before everyone shits on this, it's actually very impressive that he's able to like listen to the person and repeat it back at the same time.
Have you ever tried to
Like,
do that?
Like, all right, let's do an experiment right now.
All right.
So you can show off to all the listeners.
I'll
Ready?
read a Wikipedia article to you.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right.
Make it a good Wikipedia article. I don't want to.
A Wikipedia article on Squarespace. 25%.
Wait, you didn't finish.
That's because it's not a real advertisement.
Oh, apparently we have no sponsors.
Yeah, this is our first podcast, so why would anyone sponsor us?
Right? Are we not getting paid for this?
I mean, I'm not getting paid.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
All right, here's the random article.
Uh-oh.
The 1954 Australian
The
federal
1954
election.
Australian federal election.
were held in Australia
Federal
on
elections were held in
29
Australia
May
on 29 May 1954.
All 121 seats
All
in the House of
121 seats
Representatives
in
were
the
up
House
for
of
election.
Representatives were
But
up
no
for election.
Senate election
With
took
no
place.
Senate
The
election
incumbent
took
Liberal
place.
Country
The
Coalition
incumbent literal.
led by
Oh no, Robert! That was actually pretty good.
Menzies
Yeah, we
defeated
don't
the
care, Joel.
opposition Labour Party held by H.V. Evatt, despite
My God,
losing
Joel,
the
we're
two
losing
party
listeners from your reading.
vote.
I can see the subscriber count dropping as we speak.
From 4 to 3.
election that future Prime Minister
Two of them are my
Joe
parents.
Whitlam contested as a member of
Two of them were my
Parliament,
parents.
having
One of them stopped
entered
listening. It was so bad.
at the
Probably your dad, he's a dick.
1952
Unless it's
Iowa
not you,
by-election.
Nathan's dad.
Issues.
Love you, Dad.
The election was complicated by
Sure.
the Petrov affair, in which Vladimir Petrov, an
There you go, it's a high
attaché
five.
to the
For the
Soviet
listeners, that was a
embassy
high five
in
that I gave
Canberra,
Which was
Alex.
for the record-
acted amidst a storm.
Let the record show that that high five was significantly better than the high five Nathan gave Jasmine earlier.
Given that the 1951 election had been fought over the issue of banning the Communist Party in Australia altogether, it is unsurprising that such a claim would gain credibility.
Who knew we could get Joel to talk so much?
Right, we're
Results.
gonna edit all of these words together into new sentences
fuck
as
yes.
answers to his questions.
It's gonna sound terrible. So, Joel, what are your thoughts on... No, we have to ask something horrible.
What are your thoughts on the Australian election of 1821?
Joel, what are your thoughts
Reads
on...
Wikipedia article.
It's just gonna be it's gonna be stupid. We're gonna ask him like a very terrible question with the idea that we edit his words to make it sound bad, but really it's just gonna be like, Joel, what are your thoughts on genocide? The Australian election. Laugh track. Insert laugh track here.
Why does
Alright.
this say 8?
I was number 8.
Why does it have a face?
Because they wanted to seem friendly.
She was flirting.
Oh.
No, actually,
everyone who got a
Jasmine and Joel
milkshake.
both got faces as well.
Tell me
so-
about this person who drew a face on your
I
milkshake.
actually have no recollection of them. I believe it was a female, but
It was.
We now welcome our next guest, Jasmine, who's going to tell me about these faces that were on the milkshakes.
welcome, Jasmine. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You're welcome to the Nathan and Alex podcast with Alex and Alex.
Yes. One thing you need to know before you accidentally say something incorrect is that I am blind
And named Alex.
and named Alex.
Okay.
All right, so we were talking about earlier when we were in Pappy's. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so
Vaguely.
there's a disconnect here. Okay. Okay, please do not sue us, Jake and Amir. All right. So Nathan was wondering about the smiley face. Sorry, shit. Alex is wondering about the smile. We're editing that out.
I didn't expect you to be the one to fail me.
Damn it. Alex was wondering about the smiley face on these drinks, and so can you tell us anything about those?
Hold on a second, Jasmine. For the listeners at home, the smiley face does have eyebrows.
Alex, how do you know? You don't have eyes. You can't see. You're blind.
Oh, check and mate.
I was told by Alex at our last
There's
intermission.
Braille next to it.
It is a Braille smiley face. I can feel the eyebrows with my tongue, which is how I read Braille.
For those listeners at home, Nathan also has no arms. Shit, Alex also has no arms.
Insert laugh track.
All right, go ahead.
I know nothing about the smiley faces. I was just there to enjoy my milkshake.
So did your milkshake have a smiley face on it?
No comment
Yeah,
at this
I
time.
think so.
Okay, everyone, that was Andrew Berendens. Is that correct? Berendenson?
No comment at this time.
I'm sure that's correct.
Are you related
Berendenson.
to
Just
Brendan
here
Urie?
so I don't get fined.
There's no comment at this
was
time.
just gonna
I'm just
mention
here
that,
so I don't get fined.
Anyway, Jasmine, did you see what the person looked like who was putting the smiley face on the milkshakes?
I think she was short.
So
Maybe
you-
about 5'6".
so you can confirm-
Had black hair.
5'6"
In a
is
ponytail.
not that short, right?
How would you
Shorter
know
than
you're blind?
me. Shorter than me.
Shorter than
I
I.
can
Shorter
hear
than
where
I.
people's
Whatever.
voices are coming from. I assume that.
For the
So you can
listeners,
confirm
he
that she
tell
was
how
in
tall
fact
they are because
female.
He has
Yes.
3
Good.
ears, which
That was
is
rumored but not confirmed.
I'm also
Until
very
now.
confused by.
You heard it here for you heard it here, folks. Confirmation that it was in fact a female.
who was flirting with all of the people who buy milkshakes.
Including Texas?
Robot.
I feel like we've strayed from our original purpose. Could you tell us a little bit about your Texas sweatshirt?
Oh yeah,
No
for all the
comment at
listeners
this
at
time.
home, Joel Copey is wearing a Texas sweatshirt.
Right?
Joel Bubbles Copey.
Oh.
And it's not really clear why he's not from Texas. However, it is
No
important to
comment
note
at this
that
time.
he has been to Texas before,
Right.
and he has no
I have
particular.
also been to Texas before.
Who hasn't
You're
been
not
to
wearing
Texas?
a Texas sweatshirt.
Yeah, but I've been to
I've
Texas.
never been to Texas.
I'm wearing a Fermilab
Alex,
shirt,
that isn't
and I
blind,
have been to
has
Fermilab.
Right.
Clearly, in 100% of the cases at this table, the shirt that someone is wearing
I'm
is
wearing
indicative of
a
where they've
St.
been.
Thomas Aquinas shirt. I've been to St. Thomas Aquinas.
What?
You're wearing a Purdue shirt?
He's
You've been
wearing
to
a
Purdue?
gray sweater. He's gray.
Colorblind?
He's colorblind.
Well, I didn't even know that. He also
How
can
do you know
stand
what
at the
shirt
side
you're
of my
wearing?
face.
You're blind.
I put it on this morning
It's in
by
Braille.
feeling all of the braille on the front of it.
And
which
Katie's wearing
spells
a
out
striped shirt,
Fermilab.
and Katie
She
has
has
been
confirmed by
to
feeling
stripes.
it. It is not Braille.
I don't know what that means. Yeah.
I
think
don't
it-
know Braille, but I'm assuming it is not Braille.
It must be annoying for you to have a book in Braille, and then once you lick it, you kind of destroy all the pages.
It is very
Well, no,
inconvenient.
yes.
That's why I use Audible audiobooks.
Let it be known that Joel laughed at another joke. Anyway,
It's very important to me as a blind person with no arms named Alex that I be able to use Audible. A sponsor of this podcast.
all jokes aside, Nathan actually. Fuck me. Alex actually reads metal books, so he doesn't destroy them while licking them.
That is correct. They're very sharp.
The Braille is spikes.
How is your tongue still there?
I am
Never
able.
get caught and just almost ripped out?
I have to wait years between reading different books. It is important to know. I
Holy
feel
shit,
like
it's
the
Beyonce.
listener must be informed that I am able to distinguish between the Braille words by how much blood is in my mouth at any given time.
Let it be known that Alex uses echolocation, and so while we're saying all the shits in Braille, it's not really. He can just see things with echolocation.
I just
including-
click my tongue and see the very, very sharp bumps on the page.
If you've ever seen Daredevil, it's basically like that.
I stopped myself.
Except he's not good at fighting people because he has no arms
Yeah, it's like that if Daredevil had no arms.
Or legs.
and was retarded.
We don't like to use that word around.
And was mentally challenged.
Thank you.
It is a challenge. I can confirm that. All right, I think that means it's just about time to wrap up our first episode,
I think
which
that
is
tone means it's halfway the halftime of our podcast.
all right. We're gonna take a 15-minute break. We'll be right back.
Holy shit, these listeners are dumb if they want to listen to us.
Man,
Play music in the background.
oh, we should definitely play
There's
some music.
already music in the background.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Beyonce.
also a lot of bowling. You probably can't hear the music over the bowling.
Begin. Begin.
Because you start thinking of the words as letters instead of actual words.
Well, I was saying like big, like B-I-G-E. And then I was like, wait.
That's pronounced bi.
I like your card, but I'm absolutely not paying an annual fee. Discover has no annual fee.
We are not sponsored by Discover.
We just don't believe in them.
Fuck Discover. Wait, I have a Discover card.
Oh no!
On any card, only from Discover.
Not only from Discover. I'll give it to you too.
Sixers are losing.
Good.
Corey Brewer is leading the Sixers in points.
It's important to
Let
note
it be known that Corey Brewer is leading the 76ers in points after one quarter.
for those uninitiated in the podcast, who is everyone because this is the first episode, Alex is an avid Philadelphia fan.
Which Alex?
The not blind, armless Alex. Not blind,
Not
not
mentally
armless.
retarded. I
Alex.
mean, challenged.
This really sets the tone for our
Jake
podcast.
and Amir's podcast. We're not affiliated with Jake and Amir. They have user submissions for like their theme song.
Yeah.
But they just have so many submissions that they just play a different theme song every episode, and they're all really good. Also, they actually have a premise for their podcast instead of just rambling, which is they're like an advice podcast.
We should be an advice podcast.
Well, we need like letters to like answer.
We'll ask Katie about her problems.
All right. Welcome back. This is Samuel L. Jackson. By the way, on an unrelated note, one of the members of my senior design group is named Sam Jackson.
He's probably not as cool as Sam
No, he's
Jackson.
white, so he's not as cool.
Oh, definitely not then. That's
And he's an
unfortunate.
electrical engineer.
Electrical engineer. What a nerd. All right.
That's enough of that.
Brothers on an H.
And that was terrible. We'll be editing that out.
It's only been 3 minutes since we stopped, so we'll just stretch it out for the extra 12. That way we can get back to the action right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to Alex and Nathan's Advice Podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Alex.
Call it Alex and Nathan.
Yeah, that's the name of the podcast.
Our first letter is from
Nathan and
listener
Alex.
who says, "Why did you just say Alex and Nathan? It should definitely be Nathan and Alex." Signed, Alex. That's right, Alex.
All right.
It should be Nathan and Alex.
Yeah, that's my mistake, Steve. All right, so, and they give everyone fake names. Like they'll have like a movie or a TV show. So like they'll get like, for example, if it was Friends, like every single person, they instead of saying their real name, they would say like signed Chandler or whatever.
Ah.
So we should. All right. So we're here with our friend Catherine Bowen to discuss her problems and give advice.
We're going to solve all of her problems today. It is her lucky day.
All right. Hello, Katie, and welcome to the podcast.
What?
She's not paying attention.
I don't think she wants to participate.
You
No
don't feel
comment at
welcome?
this
Why not?
time.
Lit.
What did we do to make you not feel welcome?
You interrupted my thought.
That's like
sounds like a problem
That's like
she'd
the.
like advice on.
What?
All right.
Well,
we would-
one of the ways to not
Well,
have your
no,
thought
no,
process
no,
interrupted
she-
is to
she-
not
she-
listen to anyone ever.
Okay, so we are an advice podcast. So we were wondering if you could tell us about your problems so that we could give you advice on it.
So I have a problem at work.
Okay.
It's about my boss
All right.
and my baby. My boss wants to buy my baby.
He wants to buy your baby.
Yeah.
It sounds like
How
you're
much?
lying.
Wait. How much is he offering?
Sounds like you should take this deal. It's not important how much he's offering. You can
right,
first,
Chris, all right, so-
you can make some money.
All right.
Second, you can get rid of a baby.
Hold on. Let's just recap the.
You're trying to count on your
Let's just
fingers
recap-
since you don't have it?
How do you know he's trying to count on his fingers?
He
Yeah,
can
you're
tell from my tone
colorblind.
of voice.
All right, so let's just recap the problem. Katie has a baby, and her boss at work wants to buy the baby. So we are here to discuss the ethics of selling your baby. So I think Alex here has made his opinion very clear. You want to go over it again here, Alex?
Yeah, it is super ethical to sell babies. You should always do it. Money is better than babies.
Okay. This reminds me of a Simpsons episode where Homer says, "I have 3 kids and no money. Why can't I have 3 money and no kids?" Or something like that. We are not
think
affiliated
it's-
with the Simpsons. But I think that applies perfectly to this situation. What we should have asked Katie is how much she wants her baby.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you've made your opinion clear as well. She should try and get
Well,
free
all right,
money for that kid.
So here's what I think. So the principle of selling babies is fine.
Right,
I
of
think we're
course.
both in agreement on that.
Definitely.
I think we're going to diverge here, where you think that pretty much no matter what, she should sell the baby regardless of what the offer is.
Right.
I think she should at least try to negotiate a little bit, like
Sure.
like at least pretend that she likes the baby, right? Like otherwise, what kind of negotiation? She's like, "I'll give you $5 for your baby," and she's like, "Hell yeah." She should be like, "Are you joking? That's my baby we're talking about." And he's like, "Fine, $10." She's like, "Sold." And
So-
you see, I just doubled her money right there.
Now, that's a good idea in theory, but what I worry is that when Katie does that, she's flirting with danger. Because this man is clearly mentally unsound. He is willing to give money away in order to gain a baby.
No. I don't think you understand. This guy's clearly just a baby broker. He buys like third.
He's flipping babies.
Right, so he buys like
Scum
third-rate
babies.
babies, and like sells and like fixes them up and sells them for like a premium price. So, what?
Now, what I don't understand there, though, is who's in the baby market. Nobody should be in the baby market.
No
the smart
comment.
money is in money.
Smart money's in money.
Listen up, investors. Get money. Money is worth the most money of any investment that you could have.
Which is worth more, one money or one baby? Let me tell you the answer, one money every time.
Every time, every day of the week.
Now, as it turns out, so I think what you're not understanding is babies are actually a luxury item. So for people who are rich and are more interested in like things to do with their money,
Right.
babies are like a really good option because they're hella time consuming.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's
Yeah,
why
we're
you wanna-
editing out the part where I just said hella unironically.
I think we need to leave that in there for posterity, Alex.
Ooh, I love that.
All right, sounds like we got this one in the bag. Give us some more, Katie.
All right, Katie, so we've decided that you should negotiate but ultimately sell your baby.
Definitely sell the baby.
That is terrible advice.
Why is
I'm
that?
never coming back on your podcast.
Wait, why is that terrible advice?
Because I want to keep my baby.
Why did you come with this problem?
Wait, are you wealthy?
No, listen, my problem was that my boss wanted to buy my baby. There's clearly something wrong with that scenario if that's my problem.
Oh, sorry, we forgot to mention you should definitely also quit because your boss is clearly insane.
I think you should kill your boss.
Okay.
Whoa,
see,
whoa,
this
whoa,
is-
whoa, whoa, whoa!
These are
Is
results
this
that
Joel
I'm-
and Alex and Alex and Mike's podcast? I don't think so. Sorry, Joel and Nathan and Alex.
Just to be clear, we don't advocate for murder on this podcast,
You should absolutely not kill your boss.
unless it seems like the right course of action.
Well,
and then, I mean, it's a gray area.
Unless
right?
you ask us and we say it's okay.
Right. We are
By the militaries
definitely-
around the world.
All right. Now here we have Richard Sherman here. No, I was trying to think of a good fake name. So
There's
Rich,
literally no one named Richard Sherman.
so Richard,
Famous football player.
will you tell us about one of your problems so that we can provide advice?
No comment.
What?
We need problems so that we can give advice. We're
We're an
rebranding
advice
ourselves as an advice podcast.
Okay. All right. So this here is so for all our viewers who couldn't hear, this is Jasmine over here offering this problem. She says that she would like to go to P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney, but she doesn't know how to go there. So
In my experience, it's best to work backwards. So the last thing in that address is Sydney. You need to find everyone you can who is named Sydney and ask them where this address is.
no. This is clearly just at someone named Sydney's house. So you don't need to ask them where. You just once you find them, like that's
You might
it.
be there.
You just need to find a Sydney that lives at P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way.
Oh.
I'm Sherman.
Are you P. Sherman?
That's my middle name, P.
Your middle name is P?
Yeah,
Richard
Pitchard
P.
Sherman. Richard Pitchard Sherman.
Richard
No,
P. Sherman.
the P stands for P-E-E. Richard P. Sherman.
Yes.
All the way around.
Do you live at 42 Wallaby Way?
I do.
All right, well, we just
Wait,
solved Jasmine.
no.
Hello.
Do you live with someone named Sydney?
I could.
But do you?
I don't yet.
Shit.
All right, well, let us know if you meet anyone named Sydney and manage to bring them into your house and keep them there forever.
Tis the dream.
Then and only then will Jasmine's problem be solved.
Well-
Until then, she continues searching.
No, I mean, there might be someone else. Somewhere
think so?
else. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people in the world.
Richard Pitchard
Sydney.
Sherman has already claimed the address.
No,
though.
it just says, well, there can be more than one Wallaby Way. More than one Sydney and more than one P. Sherman.
Well, if that's true, what's to stop there being multiple Sydneys at multiple Wallaby Ways?
Well, the Pauli exclusion principle, Nathan.
Ah,
As a physics student, you should know that.
I should have seen that one coming from miles away. Or kilometers, as we say.
Or kilometers, as we say in
Kilometers.
physics.
Or kilograms for the uninitiated.
I should have seen that one coming from kilograms away.
Yep.
From moles away. All right.
Literal moles.
It's like miles, but moles.
Moles. Very southern accent right there.
I'm really tired.
From moles away.
It's like Louisville, but moles.
Mole. Louisville is 94 moles away.
Sorry, are you having a stroke?
I don't know if it's 94 miles away, but that sounds kind of close.
94 moles?
Moles away, yeah.
Assuming you mean miles, it's not that close. Well, I mean relative to
Got
something
a
that's
ton of
close.
questions now.
All right, we've got a listener calling in with literal thousands of questions.
No, sorry,
I don't think we're going
I
to
don't
be
know how
able to
many
get to them all in this.
I don't know how many questions it is, but it's 2,000 pounds worth.
we'll leave you to do the conversions. This is best left as an exercise for the
And
readers.
you can correct me if I'm wrong, Nathan, but questions
Alex.
do not. Shit. You can correct me. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Alex. But questions actually don't weigh anything. So, as far as I can tell from basic math, this dude has 0 questions.
It's actually interesting that you should say that because in classical question mechanics, questions don't weigh anything. But once you account for relativity,
No, I think
They still don't
They
weigh.
still don't weigh anything. It's really interesting how that doesn't change anything. Anyway, I think that's all the time we have. We'll see you next week.
Got 0 more
Bitches.
questions answered.